how we can make requests across the internet, and we've learned a little bit about how we can build responses. But the tool we're going to be using to do all of this is App Engine, and we haven't really talked about what App Engine is. So to start off, App Engine is part of the Google Cloud Platform, and there are a lot of different cloud platforms out there. You might have heard of AWS or Microsoft Azure. Google Cloud Platform is a cloud platform provided by Google. It is a consolidated set of features, set of capabilities that allow you to accomplish a variety of goals. So there are tools for hosting websites. There are tools for getting virtual machines that you can build. There are containerized solutions. There are artificial intelligence and data management solutions. There's just a whole lot of stuff out there. But we're going to focus on Google App Engine for this course. Basically, the reason I like App Engine is that I don't have to think too much about server administration or network configuration. I don't really have to think about how I'm going to set up load balancing or scale for traffic. I don't really have to think too much about building new servers or replicating systems across data centers, which is nice because if you are running a system and it starts to grow, you start to get more users, you start to get more traffic, you have to start to think about all of these things. It also has a decent number of built-in services that we can take advantage of. So if you like to really get your hands on the server admin stuff, if you like to get into configuration files and modify firewall settings, things like that, this is probably not the right platform for you. But I've always kind of focused on coding, so I always found that App Engine kind of just works because I can focus on the coding part and not really have to worry too much about configuring or managing servers. So App Engine is basically a virtualized container. A container is it's a way to kind of package everything we need to run our application into one particular set of files that we can deploy to this system. And we'll talk a little bit more about this later in the semester. But basically, we take everything that we write for App Engine, we put it into one package, and then we deploy it. And then App Engine sort of builds out the virtual machines necessary to support that, or the containerized environments necessary to support that, so that it can operate effectively. And like this previous slide implied, it does things like automatically optimizes, automatically builds new instances and scales, so that as we grow and grow and grow, our application can grow with us. It also lives in the cloud. I don't really love the term cloud. I didn't really love it when it started to be used, and we're kind of stuck with it now. Cloud is just sort of this. It became a buzzword, but really, what we talk about when we're thinking about the cloud is we're referencing somebody else's computer. This is a computer that is probably in a data center somewhere. It may be real or a physical computer. It may be a virtual machine. But the kind of the nice thing about it is that we don't have to think about it. We can pay for it as we need it. We can pay for compute. We can pay for storage. We can pay for these services individually, so that we don't have to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a server and then thousands and thousands of dollars on hosting fees. All of this stuff just sort of happens, and then we get this nice little piece of a machine that suits our needs very effectively. Now, we're also going to use web frameworks. We're going to use Flask for this class, but this prevents you from having to parse HTTP request messages directly. So if you remember back to the Java example we had a few lectures ago, in that example, we were actually accepting requests. We were listening to sockets. We were waiting for connections there. Then we were sending out an HTTP response. And all of that is not something you necessarily have to do. So there are a lot of web frameworks out there for Python. Django and Flask are probably two pretty common ones that you might find. So we're going to leverage some web frameworks so that we can kind of focus more on the functionality, the features that we want to build for our websites and our web applications, instead of thinking about how we're going to interact with the protocols. The other nice thing about App Engine is that you do most of your configuration in an app.yaml file. I think YAML is yet another markup language, so it's just a simple configuration language that allows us to identify how to route requests. When requests come in, they're going to have to be handled by some particular script. So app.yaml allows us to just kind of identify what kind of requests are out there and where they should actually be sent within our applications. And then, we're going to get into other configuration options throughout the term. So we're starting off pretty simple, but we'll add more and more things in as we move through the class. If you want to know more about App Engine, there are a lot of docs out there. There's, the App Engine Python 3 docs. If you look at the Python 2, it was a different kind of environment. Python 3 is more of a basic container where you can really take advantage of a lot of things instead of kind of having just one particular environment. So if you take a look, if you want to know more about the App Engine system and how it works and how it operates and what it's capable of, you can just click on that link in the slides. It's cloud.google.com/appengine/docs/standard/python 3. Again, that's very different from the Python 2 environment. And there are a few other languages there if you want to explore those as well. There's also some samples and some other code that you might find useful in the GitHub. And this one I'm not going to say because it's a lot of words, but you can click on that link and explore that. So thank you for watching, and we'll get further into some of the things that we can do in App Engine in our next lectures.